Hello and welcome. So we just also, this is actually part of this thing. We just is something that I use for myself. I actually refer to myself in third person as a trauma thing. This was actually, which is really wild, where this all started for me when it came to my healing and then ultimately trauma that I then healed from. Something that I told my sister after my experience in 2022 was I'll get into the introduction too, just dropping it. I just want to give a little bit here. I told her, I was like, I am confident. I'm so confident that I could go to the doctor and I could get put on medication and that I could figure this out and function again. I know that. I know I could go get medication today that would give me the ability to do things I want to do. And I believe that I will find a way to get through this that will help all of us get through trauma, PTSD, and what doesn't work for humanity, not bound in medication. I do believe medication is a key, a tool, and magic. I have no qualms or negativity around medication whatsoever. Why do I say that? Because it saved my life, quite honestly. I got diagnosed with ADHD in October 2020. And I'll say if you want to know more about me, go watch my introduction. You're here because you clicked on something. So go to all of us, watch my introduction, and learn me from there. Because I could go into an introduction and we're just going to completely lose the purpose of this book and this intention. So go learn who I am first if you're wanting to know. If you already know who I am, then we just get to jump in. So I already feel like we're friends. So we're just going to go there. And some of you, most likely at this stage in the game, if you're watching this, you are and have been because this is the beginning of my book. So either way, told my sister that she is rightfully so to want me to go get medication and get help. And I'm talking to her every day and she's helping coach me. And I call her the $1 million coach, like who she is and who she was for me just is unending. Huge praise, appreciation. I exist because of her listening and who she is. And I could easily go into some emotional feels and one day she'll get her own book and movie and I'll get there eventually, but that's where my heart's at. The love I have for her and who she's been for me is the only reason I'm functioning today. Not only did she help me through my traumatic experience in 2022, also go to the links. If I say something you don't know, ask a question so I can create the content, or it already exists. So go check it out. Get more into my story to stay focused on the point. I just know, um, I got a divorce in 2020, 2021 around there. And the day that it happened, I called my sister and I was like, I think I just made this happen. This is exactly what I need to happen. I had been married for 10 years in a relationship that just did not work. And we made the best of it. We tried our best. And really, quite honestly, when it came to the 10-year ending, we were like, we tried the end. This was great. Wish you the best. Best of friends. Not for me. I'm going to move on. And we both did that. And I believe exponentially happy. The right choices. So either way, we did that. And she helped me through the divorce and like unending support when it came to helping with the divorce. Like I cannot begin articulating how much she helped me through the divorce. Then I had my traumatic experience. She helped me through that. And where we're at today is still navigating real life and what I've discovered of how to love the trauma brain. My family has helped me through, which is unending, like unending. My brain's buzzing actually, by the way, too. I'll get into that and what that means soon or later, wherever we lead. I'm just going to keep staying in my heart and talking from my heart. And so I just want to say, as I get started here, the intention and purpose of why I'm speaking in this video is that I just wrote you a little welcome post in the Discord ChatGPT thread that I got going on. And that chat was for you. And I was just like, I love you so much. I love you so much. I'm going to keep talking about loving you so much. And the words are not going to articulate my heart to the degree that a video could. So that's where I want to start. I want to also presence you to my brain. And I don't know if you got the same one. So that is bothering me. And this, because it's not balanced, is also bothering me. I was a photographer in what I like to say my past life. And before the experience in 2022, where I became fully disabled and lost what was a full-time job and a full-time photography business that I'd done for 7 years and 15 years in the industry of finance. And so I was a highly successful, highly professional, owned $1 million house and got it in the divorce. And due to my disability, was unable to work. So didn't get to keep it in the divorce. It's the house that I built with my mind, body, soul. And once you learn more about me, you'll understand how much that's important to me. And I lost it in the divorce. Well, I lost it in the process of being disabled. is why. And that would be the shout out to Steve Brooks, who helped me discover who I am today. And so, with that, why I love to say that is that perfect love casts out fear. And that's just what I do here. Like, you're not going to hear me stop talking about love and about God is good. And like, I was in a religious cult and anti Jesus in every way is what I discovered just as I deconstructed religion, became in love with Jesus to a degree that it depends on what content you've consumed. As my husband sneezes, you'll get to discover that. And I will say, at the end of the day, if you hear me speak, I'm more likely going to check the box or be best friends with an atheist before I really become best friends with someone who's got an agenda that is religious or spiritual. Why do I say that? Because my heart, my body, and my brain is for humanity healing at every dimensional direction. And if spirituality or religion stands in the way of someone being well today, that's not okay for me. There is science, mathematics, and so much I can provide just by giving these little shifts that literally change your brain. Like how I said, we're here to help you, like third dimensional, third person, that whole thing. There's so much I could do. Just that would change your life. Like if I teach you that one, your life's changed forever. Also, this isn't new. I also have, or what did have, 144,000 followers on TikTok before my traumatic experience too. So full-time photographer, around $70,000 a year. Full-time finance industry where I made about 60 grand a year. And also 144,000 followers where I got paid $1,000 a minute on TikTok. So I lived a very privileged, white privileged, picket fence, $1 million house kind of life. I was in Melanie Ann Layer's group. I was ready to take off and make millions. One reason why I was ready to get my divorce is I was not wanting to build a life with someone who was not able to be stable with me, who wasn't wanting to build. I'd already been threatened with divorce at least 40 times in the 10 years I was married, which is trauma in and of itself. And then to discover that, that's really where the 10-year mark was. It's like, I know that I have 144,000 followers on TikTok. I know I make $1,000 a minute. I'm about ready to explode on the internet because I've got Melanie Ann Layer community. I don't know if you're connected with her. And these women make millions of dollars. Like, I'm going to be making millions and I'm going to lose it in my divorce because you're going to threaten divorce again. And we're going to have to eventually, like, we just knew it was over. So that's what's there. I also noticed my lighting in this is switching. So again, the photographer in me is highly attentive to that. Also, diagnosed ADHD, October 2020. Well, yeah, October 2020. Soon discovered I'm autistic, which I will say it wasn't by me. I had people who were professionals in the field tell me all the time, you're autistic. I'm like, I'm not autistic, I'm ADHD. I'm not autistic, I'm ADHD. I have one friend who's professional who was very, very adamant, like, girl, you are autistic. And could not receive it, was not autistic. I had my traumatic experience. I had what would be defined, I believe, for most people as hitting enlightenment, having a full Kundalini rising, and inside of that, discovering the world of autism as a real thing and unmasking. I now would say I am fully autistic. I've always been autistic. I do believe the mirror and map of ADHD and autism is real. And this is driving me batty. So I love you so much, and I've got to take it down and hope that the thing doesn't do this. But let's just see what happens. That's better. Can we do that? Oh, hallelujah. Welcome to ADHD land. It's also called autism and OCD and a trauma flash, actually, that's happening right now. So I'm just going to view with that just a second. Um, okay. Okay, so we're gonna go essentially two roads right now at the same time. So it's kind of like double dutch. So what's there is you're gonna learn what works. And it's also, you could even see it as like scrolling on your Instagram feed, where it's like, oh, I got enough of that story, on to the next one. I didn't need to know. If I don't finish the story, it's because for me, what I experience is this word called the field. My field is shifting to the highest priority at all times. And for me, the highest priority is clearing my trauma. So I love you. I want to love you. There's nothing I want to do more than loving you. More than writing the book is to love you. And what goes above loving you, which has been the 10,034 days it wants to be said. 1,034 days. I just see a 10 and 34 when I go to say that, or just perceive a 10 and 34. I don't actually see it. It's just like, oh, I'm getting ready to say the word 1,034. That feels like 1034. That's just where my brain works. Inside of that, I was and will continue to articulate how deeply psychologically tortured I was July 4th to and through July 7th, 2022, to the point of death. And I'll articulate that soon. Why that's so tricky to say out loud is you're here and you're just like, I believe you. I've met you. You're telling the truth. Why would you not tell the truth? You're the most literal person on the planet telling the literal truth all of the time, outside of when I'm triggered and then I'm explaining things that are not literally going to happen, but what it feels like literally. There's a big distinction, I think, believe for ADHD, which is ultimately, in my theory, under the umbrella of autism. I've got some facts on that because that is, I believe, in Europe, what they're looking is the autism, and then there's a subsect of ADHD under autism. That feels good in my body. I'm also pioneer a lot of stuff, and so that would make sense to me. And we're talking online to 144,000 followers with ADHD having a 50% comorbidity with autism. That's kind of like a lot of us. We're all of us. So there's a million directions I can go right now. And I just want to keep staying where I'm at. And in many ways, connecting and teaching you, wait, this is me. This is how I function. I also have no biomechanic of what's out there. I'm just talking to myself. I do believe you exist. I have this concept of show up for none. I do believe you exist. And today, you don't technically exist. I don't know who you are. I don't know who's going to be tomorrow. We're not promised tomorrow. So I have no clue who is going to watch this video or if it will become one of the 10,000 million hours of content I've created from July 4th to now to document for myself insanity, what happened to me, and then also document what I'm literally discovering. I followed a linguistic path, discovering the shift from I to you to we to me, that whole thing, the linguistics around how we refer to ourselves. It's a study that I discovered. I played with that in 2020. And after a 2-year journey, following through what I called the chakra journey, which is a made up concept that I just made up, led to hitting enlightenment. And it is patterned and documented. And then I patterned it again. And now I have a brain buzz. So again, I'm also in discovery too. So when I'm speaking out loud, I'm discovering with you. And I'm also discovering in like genius Albert Einstein territory. And I don't know how to talk to someone yet. And this is also why I invited people in, is that until I have someone who's able to be like, hey, I'm a genius, I'll hang out in the room, I don't really have anyone to talk to. I just talk to myself. And it's also the most traumatic thing in my body. This is the epiphany I had yesterday. For me to speak every day, every time I open my mouth, I am having a PTSD attack. It feels like death in my body, and I'm in an elevated, heightened nervous system state. I'm not safe in my body right now. And I know that. So I'm going to keep going. It's just by the end of this call, I have worked through so much trauma. And then being seen on top of that is a whole nother traumatic thing. Because once I get my story out and it makes sense, I've got 1 million people on TikTok that are going to hear my story. And so it's not so easy to open my mouth when I'm a little small town girl who thought the big deal that she was hitting 144,000 followers on TikTok. I thought that was a big deal. And I like to be hidden, and I like to be quiet, and I like to be sensitive, and I like to be soft, and I like to be in my little world, and I don't want to go into the wave of consciousness or wave of autism wants to be said, wave of common culture. I don't know if you've seen people when they comment on viral content and it's really brutal. And I've developed myself a lot. And so there's a part of me that's like, oh, I've got some really big, exciting things to share that are completely world changing, that's going to completely change everyone. Because what did I say when I was in the psych box? What was I saying when I was being psychologically tortured? Someone someone made a big mistake. I'm like Albert Einstein, except I'm a woman, so no one can hear me. And I don't know why the color keeps changing. I'm gonna try to change that because I'm in an elevated. So I took that sign off the wall. That sign is something that I got in August 2024 when I had a stress-induced psychosis event where I actually did have actual psychosis. So July 2022, I hit enlightenment and I had an epiphany state of awareness. I was in a clear well-being state. I was never in an altered state of reality that was scary. It's never a threat to myself or anyone else. It's a genius thing. I get excited and geeked out. I love talking about it. August 2024 was the scariest daytime of my life. I've never been scared. I've never met hell, understood hell, and I discovered hell for the first time. And not only did I get a psych box experience, I got arrested naked because I was here to prove to the world how fucked up this world is and how people are not listening. I'm here telling the truth, and why it's so traumatic to tell my story is I've been telling it out loud for so long and no one's heard me. They hear me. I'm not saying they don't hear me. It's not made a difference. And it like literally, I'm in that's where welcome to the trauma brain. Like I'm getting ready to have an extreme PTSD response because the color is changing on my thing. So I don't know how to change that. I love you all. And this is also why I avoid doing this work, because this is the depth I have to go into to be able to talk. Okay, so we don't want to do that. We want to go blur my background. Would that help? Let's try that. We'll give that a go for now. So I'm not wanting to have PTSD attack. I am wanting to entertain you and I didn't want to keep you here. And I'm already at 16 minutes and I don't know if I'm going to lose you. Because that's what it's been like. I get really excited. I get really close to telling my heart. And then I get really scared. Because when I speak freely, I have gotten arrested, protection order, taken to jail, psych box, and I've done nothing wrong. So, also in the world of I got arrested naked, here's the thing. I've been writing a movie since I got kidnapped in 2022. So, when I was in the psych box away, took care of myself. Again, check my story out if you need full context. I was writing a story to keep myself alive. It's something my brain did. And then afterwards, I created a movie just as a concept. I wanted to teach the world what happened. And so I've been documenting it like a movie. And it's been exciting. Like, I love it. It's an amazing movie. I'm really excited for it to be seen. It's still changing. The thing is, I'm on a train and I'm going to lose it because I'm in a limbic response and you're here and you're paying attention and I'm just lost. And I don't want to lose that because that was a good train. It's just this color is driving me crazy. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Also, this is comfort. Also, this stem, by the way, is no different than laughing, crying, peeing. It's a natural 400% focus when you stem. It is a self-soothing, self-comforting experience that I have access to all the time. And people would shame and judge me about it, and there's a lot there. So anything you're doing, it's a process of regulating this anxiety that is not necessarily anxiety. I'll get to the root of it. It's just the term we've created is anxiety. There's more to here. Nervous system is our power system. It's how we function as humans. And we, as child, born in a world that didn't teach us how to function. So we're dysfunctional. Not a surprise. We're not disordered. We're actually in perfect order for what we've been experiencing. Okay, so I think we might have done something. Hope and pray. Please mirror my video, touch on my appearance, adjust for low light, portrait lighting. We do lip color and eye color. All right, you can add a beard. Wow, didn't know these things. Okay. It's just still freaking fluttering. I'm gonna turn the music back on in my room. See if that helps. It does help. Okay. There's so many directions I can go, and I wanted to be here loving you. And the fact that the color keeps changing on my face, that is like yellow. And then I move. And now it's light blue. Okay. We're gonna have to Google this thing right now because it's 20 minutes and we're gonna have to take two because that was a lot and we gotta take two. So 20 minutes is where I try to go. 2020. We'll come back.